These are some of the examples of absolute value inequalities because in all these inequalities there is an absolute value. Next, solving an absolute value inequality. I am taking this absolute value inequality. In this inequality, what are the values of x? Finding the values of x is solving this absolute value inequality. To solve an absolute value inequality, first you need to remove the absolute value symbol. Then you will solve for the variable. To remove the absolute value symbol, you will use one of the four formulas. In the next few slides, you will see what are these formulas. I am taking this inequality. Absolute value of x less than 4, less than a positive number. Now the question is, what are the values of x? To find that, let us take the number line. You have 4 here, so go to the 4 and put an open circle. Now go to the negative 4 and put an open circle. I am putting open circles because there is no equal sign here. Now, if you take any of these numbers and find the absolute value, you will get less than 4. So these are the x values. But if you take any of these numbers or these numbers, the absolute value is not less than 4. So the x is all real numbers between negative 4 and 4. But negative 4 and 4 are excluded because of the open circles. So we can write this as negative 4 less than x less than positive 4. This is the solution to this inequality. So now we can write a formula. If an absolute value less than a, this a is a positive number, then negative of this number less than x less than this number. Now the question is, what if there is an equal sign? If there is an equal sign here, then you add an equal sign here and here. This is formula 1. Now I am taking this inequality, absolute value of x less than negative 5. There is a negative number here. What are the values of x? You know that an absolute value is a positive number. So, an absolute value cannot be less than a negative number. So, this inequality has no solution. Now, we have another formula. If an absolute value of x less than a negative number, a is a negative number, then this inequality has no solution. Here there is no equal sign. If there is an equal sign, then also the inequality has no solution. Now I am taking this one, absolute value of x greater than 3, greater than a positive number. What are the values of x? To find that, let us take the number line. You have 3 here, so go to the 3 and put an open circle. Now go to the negative 3 and put an open circle. Now if you take any of these numbers and find the absolute value, you will get greater than 3. Also, if you take any of these numbers and find the absolute value, you will get greater than 3. So these are the x values. So here these values are less than -3 and these values are greater than 3, positive 3. These together are the solution x. So you need to put an R. So the solution to this inequality is this or this. X less than -3, negative of this number, or x greater than this 3. So now we can write a formula. If absolute value of x greater than a, this a is a positive number, then this x is less than negative of this number, negative a, or this x is greater than a. So here there is no equal sign. If there is an equal sign here, then you add an equal sign here and here. So this is the formula 3. Now I am taking this inequality, absolute value of x greater than -6. There is a negative number here. What are the values of x? You know that an absolute value is a positive number. So an absolute value is greater than any negative number. So this inequality is true for any real number. Therefore, all real numbers are solution to this inequality. Now we have another formula. If absolute value of x greater than a, where a is a negative number, then all real numbers are solution to this inequality. Here there is no equal sign. If there is an equal sign, then also all real numbers are solution to this inequality. Let us do this problem. You need to solve this absolute value inequality and write the solution in interval notation and graph the solution. In this inequality, you have an absolute value on the left hand side and there is less than or equal and a positive number on the right hand side. To solve this, we use this formula. This is formula 1. If an absolute value of x less than or equal to a, where a is a positive number, then minus a less than or equal this x less than or equal a. In this inequality, we have y for x and this a is positive 11. So we can write minus a minus 11 less than or equal this x is y less than or equal this a 11. This is a solution to this inequality. Now we can write this in interval notation. Write this number, comma, this number. You have equal sign here, so put bracket. Here also there is equal sign, so put a bracket here. This is the interval notation. Now we need to draw the graph. You have negative 11, go to the negative 11, so it is here. Put a filled circle because there is a bracket. Now this number, so that is here. Put a filled circle because of this bracket. Now draw a line. This is the graph. Now we are going to do this problem. You need to solve this absolute value inequality. This inequality is same as the previous one. You have an absolute value less than and a positive number on the right hand side. We use this formula to solve this. In this inequality for x, we have this 4x plus 5 and a is 10. So we can write minus a, that is minus 10, less than this x, that is this 4x plus 5, less than a, that is 10. Now you need to isolate the x. To isolate x, first we isolate 4x. You have positive 5 here, so you need to subtract 5 on the three sides. So negative 10 minus 5 less than, you are subtracting this, so you get 4x less than 10 minus 5. Negative 10, negative 5, negative 15 less than 4x less than 10 minus 5 is 5. You need x, so divide 4 here, here and here. You get negative 15 divided by 4 less than, you are dividing 4, so you get x less than 5 divided by 4. This is the solution to this inequality. Now we can write this in interval notation. Write this number, comma, this number. No equal sign here, so put parenthesis. Here also no equal sign, put parenthesis. So this is the interval notation of the solution. Now we need to draw a graph. Negative 15 over 4. This is negative 3.75. 5 over 4 is 1.25. Negative 3.75 is somewhere here. This is parenthesis, so put a open circle. Now 1.25, that is here, parenthesis, so put a open circle. Now draw a line from here to here. This is the graph of the solution. Now we are going to do this problem. We need to solve this absolute value inequality. This inequality is same as the inequalities in the previous problems. You have an absolute value less than and a positive number. But there is a difference. There is a minus sign here. The minus sign in the x term. Let us solve this inequality. We will use the same formula to solve this inequality. Here for x, we have this 9 minus 2x, and this 3 is a. So we write minus a, that is minus 3, less than or equal this x, that is this 9 minus 2x, less than or equal a, that is 3. Now we need to isolate x. To isolate x, first we isolate negative 2x. You have a 9 here, positive 9. So to isolate this, you need to subtract 9 here, here, and here. You get -3, -9 less than or equal. You are subtracting this, so you get -2x less than or equal 3 minus 9. -3 minus 9 is -12 less than or equal -2x less than or equal 3 minus 9 is -6. You need x, so divide -2 here, here, and here. You get -12 divided by -2. You are dividing an inequality by a negative number, so you need to reverse the sign. Less than or equal, you need to change this into greater than or equal. You are dividing -2, so you get x. Here also you are dividing -2, so you need to reverse the symbol. Less than or equal symbol, you need to change this into greater than or equal. -6 divided by -2. -12 divided by -2 is positive 6, greater than or equal x. This -6 divided by -2 is positive 3. This is the solution. Now we need to write this in interval notation. To write this in interval notation, you need to reverse the symbol, this symbol and this symbol. So this is greater than, you need to change these into less than. To change these into less than, you need to move this here and this number there. So you get 3 less than or equal x less than or equal, put this number here. Now we can write the interval notation of this. So write this 3 comma this number. You have an equal sign here, so put a bracket. So here also equal sign, put a bracket here. This is the interval notation of the solution. Now we draw the graph. So you got 3 here. This is bracket, so put a filled circle. Now 6 here. You have bracket, put a filled circle. Now draw a line from here to here. This is the graph. Next, we are going to do this problem. You need to solve this absolute value inequality. In this inequality, on the left hand side, you have an absolute value and also there is a number here. To solve this, first you need to isolate the absolute value. To isolate the absolute value, you need to move this to the right hand side. So you get this less than or equal 7. You are moving this to the right hand side. -4 becomes +4. Now this less than or equal 7 plus 4 is 11. Now you have an absolute value on the left hand side. There is less than and a positive number on the right hand side. So you can use the formula 1. In this inequality for x, you have this 5w plus 1 and a is 11. So we can write negative a, that is negative 11 less than or equal this x, that is this, less than or equal a, that is 11. Now you need to isolate w. To isolate w, first isolate 5w by subtracting 1. So negative 11 subtract 1 less than or equal. You are subtracting 1, so you get 5w less than or equal 11. Here also you need to subtract 1. Negative 11, negative 1, negative 12 less than or equal 5w less than or equal 11 minus 1 is 10. You need a W, so you need to divide 5 here, here, and here. Equal divided by 5 less than or equal. You are dividing out 5, so you have W less than or equal 10 divided by 5. 10 divided by 5 is 2. So you have negative 12 divided by 5 less than or equal W less than or equal 2. This is the solution. Now you need to write the solution in interval notation. This inequality in interval notation is write this comma this number. There is equal sign, put your bracket. Here also there is equal sign, so put another bracket here. This is the solution in interval notation. Next, we are going to do this problem. We need to solve this inequality. In this inequality, on the left hand side, you have an absolute value. Here there is less than. On the right hand side, there is a negative number. To solve this, we use the formula 2. If an absolute value that is less than a is a negative number, then the inequality has no solution. So this inequality has no solution. Now we need to write the solution in interval notation. No solution in interval notation is this symbol. You need to use this symbol for no solution. Now we are going to do this problem. You need to solve this inequality. In this inequality, on the left hand side, you have an absolute value and also there is a number. There is less than and a number on the right hand side. To solve this, you need to isolate the absolute value. To isolate the absolute value, you need to move this to the right hand side. You get absolute value of 8x minus 9. You are moving this to the right hand side, less than 6. If you move this to the right hand side, positive 10, you need to put a negative 10. Now you have this less than 6 minus 10 is negative 4. So you have an absolute value on the left hand side. There is less than and a negative number. So according to the formula 2, this inequality has no solution. You need to write no solution in interval notation. That is, put this symbol. Now we are going to do this problem. You need to solve this inequality. In this inequality, on the left hand side, there is an absolute value. Here there is greater than. On the right hand side, there is a positive number. To solve this, we use the formula 3. That is, if an absolute value of x greater than a, where a is a positive number, then this x is less than negative a or x greater than a. In this inequality, for x, we have this x plus 6. A is 8. So we can write x, that is x plus 6, less than minus a, that is minus 8, or x, that is x plus 6, greater than a. A is 8. Now we need to isolate x. To isolate x, you move this to the right hand side. You get x less than 98. Move this to the right hand side. Positive 6, you need to put negative 6. Now x less than -8, -6, -14. Now you need to isolate x in this inequality. You have r, move this to the right hand side. You get x greater than 8, positive 6. If you move to the right hand side, you need to put 96. Or x greater than 8 minus 6 is 2. This is the solution to this inequality. Now we need to write this in interval notation. So first to write this in interval notation, you get negative infinity comma this number. Negative infinity, you need to put parenthesis. Here no equal sign, so put parenthesis. Now you have or here. Or means union, so you need to put this symbol. Now write this inequality in interval notation. It's greater than 2, so you need to put 2 comma infinity. No equal sign, put parenthesis. Infinity, you need to always put parenthesis. So this is the interval notation. Now we need to draw the graph. So first to draw the graph of this inequality. Negative 14 is here. There is no equal sign. Put an open circle. This is less than. So you need to draw a line all the way to negative infinity. Now this one, x greater than 2, 2 here. So go to the 2. No equal sign. Put an open circle. This is greater than. So draw a line all the way to positive infinity. This is the graph. Now we are going to do this problem. You need to solve this inequality. This inequality is same as the previous one. You have greater than plus there is an equal sign. Here you have a positive number and absolute value here. So we use the formula 3 to solve this inequality. For x, we have negative 2x plus 5 and the a is 12. So x, that is this, less than or equal minus a, that is minus 12, or x, this one, greater than or equal a is 12. Now we need to solve this one and this one to isolate the variable x. So first to isolate this term by moving this to the right hand side, you get negative 2x less than or equal negative 12. Move this to the right hand side. Positive 5, you need to put negative 5. This one less than or equal negative 12 minus 5 is negative 17. Now you need x, so divide negative 2 both sides. You get here x. You are dividing by a negative number, so you need to reverse the inequality symbol. Less than or equal, you need to put greater than or equal negative 17 divided by negative 2. Greater than or equal negative 17 divided by negative 2 is positive 17 over 2. Now we solve this inequality or isolate this term by moving this to the right hand side. You get negative 2x greater than or equal 12. Move this to the right hand side. Positive 5. You need to put negative 5. Or negative 2x greater than or equal 12 minus 5 is 7. Or you need x, so divide negative 2 both sides. X, you are dividing an inequality by a negative number, so you need to reverse the symbol. Greater than or equal becomes less than or equal 7 divided by negative 2. Or x less than or equal. This is minus 7 over 2. This is a solution to this inequality. Now we need to write the interval notation. Here you have greater than, here less than. So first take this and write this inequality in interval notation. You get negative infinity, comma, this number. Negative infinity, you need to put parenthesis. Here there is an equal sign, so put a bracket. Now you have R, that is union. Now write this inequality in interval notation. X greater than or equal 17 over 2. So you need to write this one, comma, greater than, so put infinity. There is an equal sign, so you need to put a bracket. Infinity, you need to put a parenthesis. This is the interval notation. Now we need to draw the graph. So here 17 over 2, that is 8.5. So 8.5 is here. This is greater than, and there is an equal sign, so you need to put a filled circle, greater than, so draw a line all the way to positive infinity. Now this one, you have negative 7 over 2, this is negative 3.5, so negative 3.5 is here. There is an equal sign, so put a filled circle. Now this is less than, so put a line all the way to negative infinity. This is the graph. Now we are going to do this problem. You need to solve this inequality. In this inequality, on the left hand side, you have an absolute value. Here, greater than. On the right hand side, there is a negative number. To solve this, we use the formula 4, that is this one. If an absolute value of x greater than a, where a is a negative number, then all real numbers are solution to this inequality. So for this inequality, all real numbers are the solution. In interval notation, we can write all real numbers as negative infinity, comma infinity, parenthesis, parenthesis. Now we are going to do this problem. You need to solve this inequality. This inequality is same as the previous one. You have an absolute value on the left hand side. Here there is greater than, plus there is an equal sign. On the right hand side, you have a negative number. We use the same formula, formula 4, to solve this inequality. For this inequality, all real numbers are solution. Now we need to write this in interval notation, that is negative infinity, comma infinity, parenthesis, parenthesis. This is the solution of this inequality in interval notation.